internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
This is the Small Axe Jesse Rall representing for CVM. See it happen. We and the lion them go, whoa, whoa, whoa. We and the lion them good.
Need to estimate your duty? Perform a track and trace? Search for a declaration?
Then download the Jamaica Customs mobile app today. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
12 p.m.
Joining us for CVM News at noon. It's Wednesday, September 17, 2025. I'm Amoy Harriet. We begin with news out of St. James. There's tension on the work site of the Western Child and Adolescent Hospital in Montego Bay as the construction workers, who are predominantly Chinese nationals, have mounted a protest. The workers are bearing placards which read, "No money, no work." Now, according to an interpreter's typed message, the workers claim they have not been paid since January, and despite reaching out to their embassy, there has been no timeline on when there will be mediation. They say their children and elderly relatives are back home and depending on them. Now, CVM News spoke with the Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, a short while ago.
The local project oversight entity, which is the UDC. But recall that the Western Child and Adolescent Hospital is a gift from the Chinese government, and the Chinese government contracted the contractor in China, and the relationship is between the contractor, the Chinese government, and of course the workers. So we really are not party to that arrangement. But nevertheless, it is concerning to us because the project has been going well to date. So there's clearly an issue. So once I get a report from the project team, our local project team, who provides oversight and support to that activity, then further dialogue can be had and I can express some more clarity on the situation. But as of now, we are really not involved in that kind of relationship, that contractual relationship between the workers and the contractors on the ground.
Thank you, sir. I know today is a swearing in and we called you ahead of that. Does that mean you retain your portfolio?
No, it doesn't mean anything except that until a new announcement is made or an announcement is made, I still have to, manage the portfolio, which is what I'm doing up to 2 p.m. and then we'll know what happens from there.
On that note, the stage is now set for cabinet ministers to be sworn in under 2 hours at a special ceremony at King's House. The ceremony is set to begin at 2 p.m. Now, this follows the swearing in of Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness on Tuesday. Now, speaking in his inaugural address, Dr. Holness noted that Jamaica is now turning the page to a new chapter in governance with a strong emphasis on economic growth. Linking this to the wider goal of national stability, Dr. Holness pledged to work towards the eradication of absolute poverty.
The vision of this government in this next chapter is to spur economic growth. Growth that lifts every household across the length and breadth of Jamaica out of absolute poverty. Sustained economic growth will end absolute poverty in Jamaica. We can and we will end absolute poverty in Jamaica.
Meanwhile, Dr. Holness pledged to leverage what he described as Jamaica's strategic geography to transform the island into a hub for global trade.
In the next chapter, we will be pressing ahead with transformational projects to anchor our role as a logistics hub of the region. The Caymanas Special Economic Zone will be the largest and most advanced industrial and commercial center in the English-speaking Caribbean, bringing together manufacturing, warehousing, logistics, and technology services. It will be a space designed for the 21st century economy, seamlessly connected by road, rail, air, and sea. We will make Jamaica the gateway to the Americas.
In the meantime, Director of the Sir Arthur Lewis Institute for Social and Economic Studies, Professor Lloyd Waller, says the Prime Minister's inaugural speech touched all the right points.
And you know, the speech itself
and we do apologize for the absence of the audio on that clip. Now, as Dr. Holness, the Andrew Holness-led administration begins a third consecutive term in office, the Jamaica Employers Federation is urging the government to deepen its commitment to productivity, ethical governance, and inclusive partnerships. Crystal Williams tells us more.
The Jamaica Employers Federation, JEF, is urging the government to continue to foster a business-friendly environment that balances economic growth and sustainable productivity. The JEF president, Wayne Chen, says issues around the country's macroeconomic stability, public order, and strengthening of the employment rate have improved greatly over time.
So in recent times, we have seen successive governments practice fiscal prudence. We have benefited from the lowest unemployment rate in our history. Yesterday we heard that we now have the lowest inflation rate in 60 years. We have the lowest poverty rates ever recorded. So the macroeconomic indicators have all been good.
However, Chen believes the missing ingredient is economic growth. He says this can be tackled across three areas, the first being increasing the skills of the workforce through education.
Only 40% of the workforce have certifiable skills. We have to ensure that more people access not just the hard training programs, but the formal education system has to be geared towards the need of the global market and the future of work.
Another area Chen believes can be targeted is infrastructure if Jamaica's economy is to be competitive and productive. Along with roads, water, and mass transit, he says internet and telecommunications should be of greater focus.
A part of the pivot to strong economic growth has to be more Jamaicans working virtually, accessing opportunities in the global economy. I think every Jamaican consumer will attest to the fact that internet quality has been less than desirable in recent times. If we are to pursue economic diversification and create greater opportunities for our people, better internet is one of those things. It will all be for naught, all the training that I talked about earlier, if we don't have reliable, accessible, affordable internet.
Chen also says he has seen tremendous success in pushing down the rates of violent crimes.
We're at a 30-year low. 2025 we'll have better numbers than any time since the early 1990s. We have to continue this effort and push forward.
Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
Police in Manchester are probing a deadly late-night gun attack that has left one man dead and another nursing gunshot wounds. Reports are that about 10:30 Tuesday night, residents of Banana Ground in the parish heard a barrage of gunfire and summoned the police. Upon arrival at the Winsome and Moncrief Place, lawmen discovered the body of 61-year-old businessman Moncrief Balford of African descent lying face down. The injured man, identified only as Hulky, also of African descent, was found inside the location suffering from gunshot wounds. He was rushed to hospital by the police for treatment. In the meantime, Councillor for the Belfield Division, Mario Mitchell, has condemned the incident, stressing that Banana Ground is known to be a peaceful community.
Banana Ground is a community that is well loved and well liked across Jamaica by producing Olympians and persons who would have made Jamaica proud. This is the second shooting in a few months. I remember recently one of the bar owners and operators for Mara was killed when somebody was trying to break into his bar. This shooting last night was surprising to me, and I would like to condemn it in the strongest fashion. Let me just say to the residents, I want them to remain calm. I want them to rest assured that I will do everything in my powers, along with the police, to ensure that their safety is a priority.
Now, police investigations into the shooting continues. And it's time for a break, but stay with us. More when we return.
A powerhouse in schoolboy football, Jamaica College want to reclaim the Issa Manning Cup title, but the path to glory is rarely ever without obstacles. The Dark Blues are coming off a 7-2 win over Edith Dalton and face a Greater Portmore team who had a 1-1 draw in their last outing against Spanish Town High. It's the second match of a doubleheader at Jamaica College, Wednesday at 4:30 p.m, and you can see it happen on CVM TV, CVMTV.com, and CVM TV on YouTube. The curtain raiser will feature Vauxhall and Spanish Town with kickoff at 2 p.m. It's live. It's a schoolboy football action on CVM, CVMTV.com, and CVM TV on YouTube. JC versus Greater Portmore at 4:30 p.m. And before that, Spanish Town take on Vauxhall High at 2 p.m. in a doubleheader from Jamaica College this Wednesday, September 17.
Join us this week on Tourism One-on-One as we speak to the winner of the first installment of the Tourism Enhancement Fund's groundbreaking Tourism Innovation Incubator Program, Dr. Dwayne Chambers.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Welcome back to CVM News at noon. In news now overseas, the suspect in the killing of Charlie Kirk appeared in court Tuesday, charged with murder, as the prosecutors said they were seeking the death penalty for a crime that has shaken the United States. We hear more from France 24.
And appeared in court for the first time Tuesday, where he was officially charged with murder, with prosecutors presenting evidence including DNA on the trigger of the rifle used to kill Kirk. Wasim Cornet tells us more.
Prosecutors say they have a mountain of evidence against the 22-year-old. Those three charges, primarily aggravated murder, obstruction of justice, and witness tampering. At that press conference earlier, authorities described texts that Robinson had sent to his partner both before and after the shooting. One of them said, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Prosecutors also described that Robinson was motivated by what he says was the hate that Charlie Kirk was spreading across the United States. They say they also found DNA of Tyler Robinson on the rifle that was used to kill Charlie Kirk last Wednesday in Utah, and authorities also say that Robinson had planned the attack for over a week, that he had stashed that rifle on the roof of a building at Utah Valley University and had been waiting for his moment. Court documents also show that Robinson had asked his partner in text messages to delete those texts and stay quiet. Prosecutors have been very clear from the very beginning, and they were clear about it again today. They do intend to push for the death penalty.
Now, the fatal arson attack by a group of young men on the island against a man deemed vulnerable remains unresolved. Even as family members wrestle with the deliberate assault 3 years ago, they also want an urgent update from law enforcement on the status of the perpetrators. Curlin Brown tells us more.
This is a picture I keep on my easel in my living room. The blue flowers is just what we use as a memory for him, a memorial for him, because he liked blue.
Kismet Johnson in a pensive mood as she reflects on the best of what the family, including an only child, a son, has left of her brother, Lionel Johnson, they lovingly called Junior. It's now 3 years since August brings memories they wish they could forget. Junior was diagnosed with mental health issues in his late 30s, but it was under control to the point where he had a girlfriend who was also being treated for similar issues. Unfortunately, a non-violent domestic dispute between them landed him in trouble. And even though the charges were dropped with only a green card status, Lionel was handed over to ICE.
Because of his mental health condition, they should have at least called the person that was his medical proxy, which was my mom. He should have at least been turned over to her, and he wasn't. Instead, he was just shipped out of the country.
To Jamaica, where he was born, but had migrated to the USA along with Kismet. Here in Jamaica, his health declined as he stopped taking his meds and took to the streets of Kingston, even though the family was paying for accommodation.
As a deportee, it's like your life doesn't matter. You're not worth anything. It was about a year after he had been there. He had been attacked by some family members.
Reportedly left for dead, but miraculously survived.
Broke both his arms, punctured his lung, stabbed him in the chest and the back, and stabbed him in the head. When we got that phone call, we were told that Junior was dead. And my father heard about that and had a heart attack and died.
A phone call on August 29, 2022 shocked her world again. It was all over the news. Lionel Johnson was a victim of a savage act in the vicinity of National Hero Circle in Kingston. He was set on fire and died at hospital. This is all they got, his national ID card bearing evidence of the violent fire attack. A $500,000 award went out for information leading to the arrest of the 5 young suspects.
You know, at 16, 17 years old, which was around the age of 4 of the people that were involved. One was already an adult. If you think about, your children, how much do they know at that time? Do they know that if you do something awful to someone, that they will die? What could setting fire to someone do? And it was something that, from what we were told with the investigation, that they were doing to other people. This was something that had been started with people that were on the streets considered homeless.
The very latest, the investigator has left the police force and there is no indication of a trial set for this vicious murder case.
How can you be out on bail when there's video footage that shows that you did the crime that you did that took a person's life? And you're not only out on bail, but you're able to live your life and continue moving forward and growing. So they are now of adult age, and the consideration is should they be charged as adults now? I would like justice to be served any way that, God sees fit to do it. I don't know their heart. I don't know where they are today, but God does.
Curlin Brown, CVM News.
And it's time for a break, but stay with us. Sports is next.
Deep into the issues, we'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Ashman's Equipment, the new name in forklift sales and rentals in Jamaica. Top quality, low prices, fleet discounts available, 12-month warranty, free service parts, daily rentals, crazy cheap. Ashman's Equipment, same forklift, better deals.
Every day starts with care. Care that's always close. Supermed Family of Pharmacies is where you go for everything you need.